The neighbor reported my rain canopy as unapproved construction, and the city management came to my door the same day. I didn't argue or plead. I signed the consent to dismantle on the spot. The neighbor stood downstairs with arms crossed, looking triumphant. That night, I hired a construction team and had the rain canopy completely removed overnight. The next day, it started raining, and rainwater flowed down my exterior wall. Without the canopy's protection, the water poured directly onto the neighbor's balcony below. On the third morning, the community director knocked on my door with red eyes. His voice was hoarse. He begged, "Please, reinstall the canopy. 5 households downstairs have jointly complained, saying their homes are almost moldy." I held my soy milk and spoke slowly. "Pretend not to see. It can't be reinstalled." Outside the door, the neighbor who reported me was standing in the corridor, his face darker than the bottom of a pot. When the city management arrived, I was watering flowers on the balcony. 2 uniformed officers had serious expressions and were holding folders. "Are you Mr. Brian Mitchell?" "It's me. We received a report that the rain shelter built on the exterior wall of your balcony is an illegal construction and needs to be removed." He said this while pointing downstairs. I followed his finger and saw the downstairs neighbor Kevin Harper with his arms crossed, leaning against the stone lion at the entrance of the unit building, his face showing undeniable pride. His wife stood beside him, pointing and whispering something to me. I withdrew my gaze and looked back at the urban management officer. "Okay." The officer was momentarily stunned, seemingly not expecting me to cooperate so readily. The set of prepared arguments and policies he had were all stuck in his throat. "What did you say?" I said, "Okay, I agree to the removal. Where are the documents? I'll sign." This time, even the young team member behind him showed a surprised expression. They have dealt with too many owners who, because of maintenance demolition, cry loudly, throw fits, and act stubbornly. I'm the first to be this straightforward. The lead city official quickly reacted, pulling out a notice of demolition order from the folder. "According to regulations, you have 3 days to demolish it yourself. If you fail to do so within the deadline, we will organize a forced demolition." I took the pen and signed my name at the end. "It won't take 3 days. I'll demolish it tonight. Thank you for your cooperation." I returned to the balcony and continued watering my orchids. "Brian Mitchell, did you hear that? Illegal construction, tear it down quickly. Don't occupy public resources." The noise was loud, attracting a few scattered elderly people in the neighborhood to look over here. I ignored him, finished watering, took out my phone, found a contact called Honest Renovation in the community owner group, and made a call. "Hello, is this Dave? This is Brian Mitchell from Building 7, Unit 601. "Oh, Mr. Mitchell. Hello. What do you need?" "I have a rain canopy on my balcony. Want to remove it tonight. Can you arrange someone? Payment is negotiable. I'll pay extra." They happened to have workers available at night, guaranteeing a clean removal. I walked into the kitchen and started preparing dinner. Kevin Harper's family moved into the apartment below mine 6 months ago. Ever since they moved in, our building hasn't been peaceful. They complained about the noise from footsteps upstairs, about someone leaving clutter in the hallway, and about the stray cats in the neighborhood making noise. Their balcony was converted by his wife into a sunroom for plants. A few days ago, Kevin's wife complained in the owner's group chat, saying that the rain canopy was dripping water and damaging her flowers. Kevin immediately blamed me in the group chat and told me to figure out a solution myself. I replied at that time, "The purpose of the rain canopy is to shelter from rain and drain water, so dripping water during rain is a normal physical phenomenon." Kevin probably felt embarrassed in the group chat, and after that, he stopped talking. I thought the matter was over, but unexpectedly, he went straight to report it to the city management. This canopy was installed the first year I moved in. The layout design of our building has some issues. The balcony's outer wall lacks waterproofing edges. Whenever it rains, water flows down along the wall, and over time, the ceiling of the balcony below and the outer wall are prone to water seepage and mold. At the time, all residents of the building agreed to install these almost identical transparent canopies. They don't block natural light and help direct the rainwater, protecting the walls. For more than 10 years, everything was fine until Kevin moved in. At 7 in the evening, Dave arrived punctually with 2 workers. Soon, the sound of electric drills and cutting began. Kevin must have heard the noise and deliberately came downstairs to oversee the work. He leaned on the stone lion, lighting a cigarette. Watching the workers carry down the canopy panels piece by piece, a smile grew wider on his face. By 10 at night, the canopy was completely dismantled. Even the screws fixed to the wall were all stripped clean. I promptly paid the wages. I also gave bonuses to the guys. Dave said cheerfully, "Hey, Mr. Mitchell, the material for your awning is really good. It's such a pity to just take it down like this." "There's no other way. Some people find it an eyesore." After sending off the workers, I closed the door. Outside, the sky was overcast, as if a heavy rain was about to pour. The next morning, I was awakened by the sound of pouring rain. I drew back the curtains. Large raindrops battered the glass, merging into streams that wound down. I went out to the balcony, and without the awning to block or guide, the rainwater hit the 6th floor's exterior wall unimpeded, then formed a spectacular curtain of water flowing straight down to the 5th floor. Kevin's balcony was now bearing the full volume of water cascading down from the wall above. His carefully crafted sunroom was now being drenched by the downpour. I picked up my coffee, leaned against the balcony door, and quietly watched. "Oh my God, what's going on, Kevin? Come quickly, the balcony is flooded." "Damn it, why is the water pouring down like a waterfall? Brian, is this your doing?" I ignored him, slowly finished my coffee, went back inside to change clothes, and got ready for work. As soon as I opened the door, I saw Kevin blocking the entrance. Behind him, his wife was aggressively filming my front door with her phone. Was this deliberate or not? "Mr. Harper, if you have something to say it. Don't start anything physical." "Say something? Fine, I'll ask you. My balcony is flooded. Is that your doing? You reported the illegal construction beside my house, and the city management ordered me to demolish it. I obey the law and I tore it down overnight. It's raining now. Water flows downward. This is a natural phenomenon. You're blaming me." Kevin was silenced by my words, his face turned liver-colored with anger. You clearly knew this would happen. You did it on purpose. All I know is that I tore down my own illegal construction. It didn't bother you in any way. My flowers, all those imported roses of mine got soaked and ruined. Brian, you have to compensate." "Compensation? On what grounds? Is there any evidence proving that I damaged your flowers? Water flows downward due to gravity. You should be blaming Newton." "You're being unreasonable. You reported first. I'm just doing my job according to the law." I picked up my bag and was about to leave. "Please move aside. I have to go to work." "You're not allowed to leave. If we don't clear this up today, don't think you can walk away." "You're restricting my personal freedom. I can call the police right now." I took out my phone and aimed it at his face. Seeing the 911 screen light up, Kevin instinctively stepped back, but his wife immediately grabbed his place and stood in front of me. "Call the police. Go ahead and call. It's a good chance for the cops to judge who's bullying whom here." At that moment, Mrs. Patterson from across the hall opened her door and peeked out. Seeing the situation at my door, she was startled, and Kevin's wife immediately, like finding a savior, began to cry and plead to Mrs. Patterson. "Oh no, what's going on? Mrs. Patterson, come and help us settle this. When he took down his rain canopy, all the rainwater flooded into our house, my plants died, and he doesn't care. Isn't this intentional flooding?" I saw a crowd gathered downstairs in the apartment building, and the community director Tom Williams was there, holding a notebook and taking notes. Kevin and his wife stood in the middle of the crowd, excitedly pointing upstairs. "Director Williams, you see this, right? It's just like that. The rain is like a waterfall, all pouring into my house. Not just my house, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd floors are all affected." Director Williams looked up with a furrowed brow. The curtain of water, formed by the rain, tilted down from the 6th floor wall, hitting the 5th floor balcony with a splash. Some water continued downward, while some was blown sideways by the wind, wetting the walls and windows of the 4th and 3rd floors. Several lower floor residents chimed in. When the crowd saw me, they automatically made a path. The moment Kevin saw me, he rushed over. "Brian, look at the mess you've caused." "Easy now, Kevin, calm down." "Brian, this situation, you see, it indeed affects other neighbors." "Director Williams, first, Kevin reported that my house's rain canopy was illegally built. The urban management enforced the law. I cooperated with the demolition, and the whole process was legal and compliant. Second, the building design causes rainwater to flow directly. This is the developer's problem, not mine. Third, I sympathize with the other neighbors affected, but the responsibility is not mine." After I finished my 3 points, the room fell completely silent. Kevin wanted to refute, but opened his mouth and couldn't say a word, because everything I said was factual. Director Williams sighed. Of course, he understood this reasoning as well. Reason is reason, but you see, neighbors have to show some sympathy and consideration. Now that the problem has come up, we have to think of a way to solve it, right? Yes, it should be resolved. All affected homeowners should unite to approach the developer and property management, demanding that they carry out waterproof renovations on the building's exterior walls. This is the fundamental solution. Going to confront the big developer? As soon as these words were spoken, the neighbors who were just filled with righteous anger immediately quieted down. Who doesn't know the way developers and property management pass the buck? Then we need to find someone who can help. Exactly. By the time they fix it, the house will be completely soaked. Brian, this process takes too long. Let's talk about the immediate situation first. Can we reinstall the rain gutter now? It was Mr. Kevin Harper himself who reported the issue, with the urban management demolition notice as proof. Director Williams, you are a community official. You can't just let me knowingly break the law, can you? Director Williams was completely at a loss for words. Yes, just after the illegal construction was torn down, they want to put it back up immediately. What kind of situation is this? Kevin's face flushed red and then went pale repeatedly. It was quite a scene. He completely boxed himself in. But no buts about it. Either you go to the urban management department and have them issue a document stating this is not an illegal structure, allowing me to install it, as long as there is an official document. Without a word, I immediately set it up. Let them go ask the urban management to overturn their own decision. That's even harder than dealing with the developer. Seeing the crowd silenced, I said no more, turned, and walked into the apartment building. Behind me was Kevin's suppressed roar of anger and the neighbors' unified complaints. That night, a joint complaint letter led by Kevin and signed by 5 households from floors 2, 3, 4, and 5 was posted on the bulletin board at the entrance of the building. The complaint letter was earnest and heartfelt, bitterly complaining about the flood damage, damp walls, and property losses suffered by several households downstairs due to tenant Brian Mitchell from 601 removing the canopy, and strongly demanded that the community and property management intervene and order Brian Mitchell to restore things to their original state. A fire personally ignited by Kevin finally burned himself and others. And I am just that law-abiding good citizen. This drama is getting more and more interesting. The incident, like a stone thrown into a calm pond, has stirred up huge waves throughout the neighborhood. This letter was quickly photographed and posted in the homeowners group chat, and the group instantly exploded. "I'm dying laughing," he reported himself. "Now he's jointly demanding it be put back. What kind of move is this? Kevin's move is like lifting a stone only to drop it on his own foot. I feel sorry for the few units downstairs. They got badly screwed over by Kevin, this clueless teammate. To be fair, Brian did nothing wrong. You report my illegal construction, I tear it down. Completely legal. Now there's a problem. Why should I be responsible? Support Brian. This is exactly how you should deal with neighbors lacking public morality." The public opinion in the group was almost unanimously in support of me. Kevin and his wife tried to defend themselves in the group, saying they were just maintaining community order and didn't expect such serious consequences, but no one bought it. You should have thought about the consequences when you reported it. You're an adult and need to be responsible for your actions. Stop making excuses. Everyone's eyes are wide open. Aren't you just upset because your flowers were seen by others due to the water dripping from the canopy? Selfish and hypocritical. After several rounds of clashes, Kevin and his wife were beaten down and embarrassed, no longer daring to speak up. The incident kept escalating, and early the next morning, the property manager called me personally. "Mr. Mitchell, this is Jason from the property management." "Hello, Jason. About the canopy situation at your place, we're aware of it. You see, several neighbors downstairs are reacting strongly, and we as the property management are caught in the middle, and it's difficult for us. So? Could you please make some concessions and install the canopy first to appease everyone's mood? We can find solutions for the other issues gradually." "Jason, I made it very clear to Director Williams yesterday. That canopy is deemed an illegal construction by the urban management. Do you want me to openly defy the enforcement agency? Are you prepared to take responsibility for that, property management? This, or you, the property management, could provide a written certification proving that installing the awning is reasonable and that you will bear all the consequences. As long as I have this certification, I can also do it." "That won't do, Mr. Mitchell. Aren't you making things difficult for us?" "Likewise, you are asking a law-abiding owner like me to do something illegal. Isn't that making it hard for me?" "Jason, the root of the problem is the building's design flaw. You should be more aware of this than I am. The best solution now is to activate the maintenance fund and apply waterproofing to the exterior walls of the entire building. If your property management can take the lead in making this happen, I believe all the owners will be grateful to you." After speaking, I hung up the phone. I know, the procedures to activate the maintenance fund are complicated, and the property management most likely doesn't want to take on this trouble. I just kicked the ball back one more time. In the afternoon, the rain kept falling, showing no sign of stopping. I left work early and went home, and as soon as I reached downstairs, I saw a dramatic scene. At Kevin's balcony, his wife was holding a huge plastic basin, struggling to shake water out of it. Kevin was standing on a ladder, holding a large plastic sheet and tape, seemingly trying to make a makeshift shelter above his balcony, right under the floor of my balcony. The rain kept pouring, soaking him all over. The ladder wobbled under his feet, the tape couldn't stick to the damp wall, and the plastic sheet got blown by the wind directly onto his face. The scene was both embarrassing and ridiculous. A few neighbors downstairs gathered, pointing and whispering. "What's the use of this? It's just treating the symptoms, not the root cause. You reap what you sow. If I had known it would be like this, why bother in the first place? What are you looking at? What's so interesting?" I didn't stop. I quietly walked into the building entrance. As soon as I opened the door, a strong, musty smell hit me in the face. I frowned and went to the balcony, The smell was drifting up from downstairs. The heavy rain and standing water had already started to rot and mold certain things. The drainage system of this old building obviously can't handle such a constant, man-made waterfall. I watched the continuous curtain of rain outside the window, knowing the climax of this farce was about to arrive. The person who reported me will soon come begging me in person. On the third morning, the rain finally stopped, but the consequences of being soaked for 2 consecutive days were already apparent. I had just opened the door, ready to go for a morning run, when I was stunned by the scene before me. Director Williams from the community was standing at my doorstep, his eyes red and face tired, as if he had been up for several nights. Beside him stood representatives from 5 households downstairs, including Kevin. Everyone looked grim, especially Kevin, whose arrogant demeanor from 2 days ago had completely vanished. He was lowering his head, his face darker than a burnt pan, his eyes darting nervously, not daring to look at me. "Director Williams, what's going on here?" When Director Williams saw me, it was like seeing a savior, his voice hoarse and trembling with tears. "Please, Brian, I beg you, a big problem has happened." "What happened?" "On the 5th floor, the Andersons' apartment has extensive mold on the balcony ceiling, paint peeling off the walls, and the wooden floors soaked and warped. The balconies on the 4th and 3rd floors are also starting to leak. The damage is even worse on the walls, with water trickling through cracks into the bedrooms. Their brand new mattresses were completely ruined." Director Williams grew more agitated as he spoke, pointing to the people behind him. "They had a ruckus in the neighborhood all night last night. I didn't get a wink of sleep the whole night." I listened with no emotional waves in my heart. I even felt like laughing a little. My gaze passed over Director Williams and landed on Kevin. He felt my stare and lowered his head even more. "Is it that serious?" I picked up the soy milk I had just poured before going out and took a slow sip, calmly interacting with Director Williams.